Scott McCloud, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Un grand merci d'avoir accepté l'invitation de la Fringale Culturelle pendant votre séjour à Paris, durant le Salon du Livre. Nous nous rencontrons pour la première fois pour une bande dessinée qui s'appelle Le Sculpteur, disponible en librairie depuis le 18 mars aux éditions Rue de Sèvres. Que représente pour vous la France?
France, for somebody who loves comics, France means a great tradition and a great tradition of both loving comics and respecting the art form. For me also, I'm fascinated by the tradition of world building and the European tradition, especially after Hergé and the Franco-Belgian tradition. There's such a value of creating real and believable worlds, and that's something I've tried to incorporate into my work.
Alors, ce livre, comment est née cette histoire en sachant que vous vous êtes inspiré du mythe de Faust?
The story goes back a very long way. I had this idea when I was in my 20s, and it's a very young man's story. You know, it has big ideas, it's very operatic, but I think I needed to bring the perspective of an older person, so I waited a very long time before I wrote and drew it. And I was almost twice the age of the young man who came up with the story, and twice the age of my protagonist when I made this story, finally made it into a graphic novel. And it draws from many sources, but the Faust myth, of course, is the most obvious.
Alors, le fait d'avoir, si j'ai bien compris, le double de l'âge de son personnage, comme
C'est ça.
cette année. Alors, Scott McCloud, le fait d'avoir le double en âge de l'âge de votre personnage, c'est-à-dire, donc là il a la vingtaine, donc vous avez la quarantaine au moment où vous avez terminé cette bande dessinée, est-ce que justement, c'est pas les années qui vous ont suffi à avoir une distance suffisante pour le réaliser? Est-ce que ça a aidé à la créativité?
There were a lot of things that extra time gave me. One was to have more distance from the story so that I could evaluate it. But also, I think I needed that distance to maybe be more accepting of the young man's priorities, to understand that maybe, yes, I will always have that little bit of the American power fantasy in my work, even though I ran away from it for many years. But also, it was important that I grew up long enough to understand what the story was about. The story wasn't about greatness and art. The story wasn't even about wanting to be remembered. The story in the end was about a terror of being forgotten, and that's something a little different.
Alors, dans votre histoire, il y a une notion justement de temps, puisque votre personnage, à un moment donné, il lui reste que 200 jours à vivre, pendant lesquels il décide de créer l'inoubliable, et ça va pas être aussi simple, puisque dès le 11e jour, il va rencontrer l'amour, ce qui va rien faciliter. Cette notion de temps, elle est très intéressante, et en quoi elle a dynamisé votre histoire?
I have a long-standing obsession with time. If you go back and look at all of my comics, you'll see a lot of clocks. Clocks keep happening again and again. Clocks and calendars are all the way through this. Because of course, what's comics, but it's a way of mapping time. And this is something I try to do throughout the book. I speed time up, I slow time down. In fact, towards the end of the story, you'll see me slow time almost to a stop, because I want the audience to be able to linger. This is the magic of comics for me, is that ability to let us rise above that landscape of time and see past, present, and future all at once on the page.